NCBA Bank is heaving a sigh of relief tonight after the High Court granted conservatory orders barring the National Treasury and Kenya Revenue Authority from recovering 900 million shillings worth of foregone taxes. This follows the National Treasury's revocation of the tax exemptions extended to NIC and CBA banks in their merger, which was consummated in 2019. Documents seen by NTV revealed that NCBA Managing Director John Gashora has taken issue with the revocation and is now seeking audience with the Treasury Cabinet Secretary to resolve the matter. Julian Zamboko brings us the latest on this matter.
In late 2019, NIC and CBA banks consummated their merger in a move which at the time created a combined entity with 415 billion shillings worth of assets, displacing Cooperative Bank as the third largest bank in Kenya by asset base. The merger enjoyed exemption from capital gains tax courtesy of the then National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich, an exemption that has since proven to be a thorn in the flesh of the lender.
I have started the trajectory to build our own revenue. You know, three things. Everybody is going to pay debt. It's going to pay tax, right? Starting with William Ruto. Everybody is going to pay tax. There will be no waiver for nobody, right? You saw people waiving, you know, the taxes for their businesses. You know, you buy this bank, you sell that bank, you waive taxes. You know, it's not going to happen under my administration. Everybody's going to pay debt.
In a letter dated March 24th, addressed to Acting KRA Commissioner General Rispa Simiyu, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Professor Njuguna Ndung'u revokes the exemption of capital gains tax on instruments executed in the transfer of shares, assets and liabilities relating to the merger, citing lack of demonstrable public interest that justifies the exemption. The decision by the Treasury Cabinet Secretary was informed by guidance from the board of the Kenya Revenue Authority dated March 16th. In its letter, Acting KRA Commissioner General Rispa Simiyu argued that the exemption of NCBA from capital gains tax ought to be referred back to the Treasury for further consideration. In his rejoinder, however, NCBA Managing Director John Gashora says it remains unclear what has led to the revocation of the tax exemption and the grounds for the same. Gashora further argues that NCBA has not been aware that the exemption was being placed under fresh consideration. Gashora is now seeking audience with the Treasury Cabinet Secretary to address the matter.
Under the Constitution, there is a principle of fair administration, and there's also principles that have come out through case law on legitimate expectation. So once a decision has been made by the government, going back on it is not an easy matter. It's a delicate process that has to be followed by the government, which would involve the parties who've relied on those decisions. To my mind, the capital gains tax exemption clause doesn't necessarily have a provision on revocation of a decision made under it. So it would be interesting to see the legal basis upon which the government has made this decision.
A section of legal pundits argue that revocation of tax exemptions extended by the government could present a potential minefield for the state. This is not the first time the tax exemption extended to NCBA Group is being questioned. In May 2019, activist and now Busia County Senator Okia Omtata challenged the exemption in the High Court on grounds that it did not meet the threshold of the best interest of the public. In February this year, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah wrote to the National Treasury seeking a list of all tax exemptions extended by the government between 2018 and 2022. Julian Zamboko, NTV.
And staying with the subject on tax exemption.